that is my prediction about digital biomarkers and the prediction from digital era. I believe we are in the digital era. If we are not changing in this way, that is a big risk, because we need to move very fast, in the fast track time, because Alzheimer needs a solution. And the digital tools and devices must be adapted, and that is the enrichment that we can to capture in every objective that is changing every day. This is a big challenge. But if the Bob Dylan says that time are changing.
For the past 20 years, major innovations have occurred in this field, and yet it's been a secret. And I want to say to you, we've got to stop keeping it a secret. We need to start sharing these major things that have occurred. In a second, I'm going to take you through my personal journey of about 30 years in medicine to highlight these changes that have occurred. And I think we need to have a much more positive attitude towards Alzheimer's disease. And that's the way we'll get the community to buy in, to get memory screens, and then eventually get their disease treated as we get better and better therapies available. So what about DMTs, disease-modifying therapies? And what about biomarkers? It's very clear to all of us, not just me, that these biomarkers will be coming out very soon, which will allow us to detect disease very early, which will make primary care an integral part, if they're not already, in finding this illness. So the world is our oyster, as I say, and I think we can make a big difference. But we have to start making a difference with our personalities and with our discussions with our primary care colleagues, because right now about half of all Alzheimer's patients are not actually diagnosed.
The MENA region is advancing very rapidly in terms of aging. Now, most countries has around 5 to 6% above the age of 65. In certain countries in the region, we are above 14% of people above the age of 65, like Lebanon and Tunisia, and Egypt is moving further as well. We are expecting huge increase in the elderly in the coming few years, reaching up to 20% in 20 years' time. With that saying that, we are going to have more and more demented patients. Right now, we have like 2.5 million demented patients in the region. It's expected that by year 2050, it will increase to 10 million, which is like 400% proportionate increase in demented patients, which is huge. Our biggest hope in dementia in the region is we have to remember that by year 2050, we have 71% of demented patients will be living in developing countries. Therefore, a lot of effort has to be done in order to make those patients easier and having a good life. And we are hoping for better biomarker, easier biomarker that is done by saliva or blood, not the sophisticated biomarker. At the same time, we are looking forward for better education, better training of our healthcare professional and caregiver, and hopefully for a new medication that does not need a lot of follow-up and a lot of sophisticated follow-up, which is not amenable to a lot of people in the MENA region. Thank you for listening.
So my hope for Alzheimer's disease and dementia actually comes from approaches to knowledge production that recognize and disrupt structural injustices for equitable care and treatment. So as I wrap up, I just want to say that my perspective is that we really need to have a long-term vision. As I've said repeatedly, those of you who have heard me speak are probably tired hearing me say this, but we really do need to have a long-term vision of the improvements that are needed for research and clinical care. And we have to be very strategic and strengthen the relevant infrastructure and resources so that we can take agile action. That means preparing years in advance for the biomedical research that we really want to have happen.